Gracias, señor. Good looking.
Okay, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3.
All right, everybody, live from New York City. It's Videoland Express. I'm your host, Frankie San.
And I'm Mark.
It is live because I'm adjusting my microphone, make sure it's working properly, and can go back. Can double take. Live, straightforward it is. Anyway, quick announcement. In the past couple shows, I've been telling you about Google Plus, a blog on Google, and Google just playing, well, I don't know what they're doing. They're pulling the plug on a lot of things. So I don't know about the blog, because I told everybody, I told you about the website, the blog, and a Gazilla community, and Google is just pulling the plug. They don't want to compete against Facebook. So everything that I set up for the past 2 years, well, in the next 2 months, they're just going to slowly pull the plug on everything. So, in a nutshell, all I can say is follow us on YouTube. Simple as that.
YouTube, Videoland Express on YouTube. Like I say, subscribe, like, tell your friends to like, and the more you view, I think they say we need like at least 100K subscribers. And once we have 100K subscribers, they'll let us into places like all these other places. If we could do remotes, eventually we'll be able to do remotes or whatever, but it's all depending on our audience. Please, and like, should I give them the times they can watch us?
Sure.
Okay, the times you can watch us, if you want to watch us live, we're on ManhattanNeighborhoodNetwork.org, web channel 2. That's where you can see us live, channel Lifestyles. We're also on Spectrum 56 and 1996, Vios 34, and RCN 83. Remember, every other week, every other Saturday at 5 o'clock.
Worst comes to worst, the good thing about Google is you go to Google search, type in Videoland Express, and the top 10 searches will show you all the things that we've been doing for the past couple of years. The blog, SoundCloud, and a bunch of other stuff. Google is just pulling the plug on the things I've been working on for a lot of years. So I'm kind of ticked off, and I really appreciate you. A lot of you people have followed the Gazilla community. Thank you. They're gonna cancel that in April, unfortunately, just before Gazilla comes out. Gazilla versus King Ghidorah, and a bunch of other projects I've been working on for the past couple months. And I wasted a lot of time doing that. Not wasted. I mean, it was good training, but you know, and a lot of people are really ticked off what Google is doing. It's not my fault. I'm sorry, it's out of my hands. But that's the big announcement. Videoland Express, in its own form, is going to be on YouTube. Follow us there. That's it. Everything else is going to be canceled. Whatever I mentioned, Gazilla community and all that, is gone. Sorry. It's out of my hands. So, but we are going to continue on YouTube. Now, Frank, what happened to all those announcements about your music and the groups you're working with and stuff? Again, only one place to go to. YouTube. Videoland Express, right here. I think right over here in the corner over here. There we go. Videoland Express, YouTube. That's it. That's all you got to do. If not YouTube, Google, and seek you shall find. Anyway, I want to thank everybody and the past couple of years for following us, especially the Gazilla community. We started with a couple hundred people, something I set up, and we are almost up to 4,000. Ingo decides to pull the plug. But is it negative? No, because a lot of those fans are actually starting their own websites. And you know what? I wish them all the best. Go for it, guys. And thank you for the community. Now, couple announcements. Okay. This guy called it right about Aquaman being the biggest picture of the year. And I said, Green Book. for Best Oscar, Best Picture. Yes,
Right.
and that's right. Black Panther won it for 3 Oscars, believe it or not, or 4. But anyway,
In fact, they
and,
said Batman should have won at least some more Oscars.
yeah,
But it wasn't. It was appreciated at its time. They were taking it as a joke, even though Nolan Ryan was trying to do something more than just a superhero film.
right.
Not appreciated at its time. Like Casablanca, never won an Oscar.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best films sometimes never win.
What's a good example? Okay,
Well, Romeo and Love versus Saving Private Ryan. That's the best example out there. And you're the one who brought it up. I remember a long time ago you said that the only reason why Gwyneth Paltrow even won an Oscar was because thanks to the editing.
and it's true. It finally came out, and that's why she
Yeah,
says
yeah.
after the next Avengers, I'm gonna retire from acting. You never acted in the first place, honey.
Yeah,
Sorry.
It's not acting.
I can say that after 31 years, by the way. Okay, so some people might not like that, but hey,
Some people are agreeing with you on YouTube. They're agreeing you 100%. I've seen whole analysis and breakdowns between those two movies. And they're like, they don't understand it. There was even a better actress nominated against her.
yeah,
And she beat them all.
yeah.
There were better actresses.
I get,
Even she even beat Meryl Streep.
yeah.
One of the most overrated. I'm sorry to say, I know people are going to hate us for saying this stuff.
No,
Meryl
they're gonna
Streep is
hate
one of the
you.
biggest.
No, I love Meryl Streep.
Yeah, but that.
I got to give it to her.
Okay, but she beat Meryl Streep. So does that mean that she's a better actress,
No.
Gwyneth Paltrow, than Meryl Streep?
The only reason Paltrow got away with it is because she has connections in the business.
Well, it was because Harvey Weinstein. He basically elbowed everybody, and that's why I remember one Oscar. They came out with that joke. Harvey Weinstein's not going to control this year's Oscars,
yeah. Well, actually,
and that was before he got caught, before he got Me Too'd.
okay, let's go back to Oscars because
Yes.
the last show I mentioned that maybe the Black Panther might get Best Picture, but it was Green
We
Book,
wanted
and I did say,
We
but
wanted it so bad.
as far as comic book movies goes, Black Panther goes down in Marvel history as the only picture, comic book heroes, whatever you want to call it, as the only picture to get 3 Oscars. Okay, so
Even
it
though
did
the
break the
return,
rule.
even though you say the Return of the Dark Knight should have gotten it. I mean, was it called the Return of the Dark
Well,
Knight?
okay, the Dark Knight.
Dark Knight Rises?
Rises or Returns or something like that?
Okay, the
Whatever
middle one
the title,
with
right.
Heath Ledger, basically. The Heath Ledger Batman should have received Oscars.
Okay, No.
If you want to say this, if you want to be serious.
okay. And this is
Right.
what happened with this. A little history since it's been on for 31 years. And back then, this is before you joined me on the show, the Oscars have always been 5 pictures. 5 best of the year pictures. That's it. And because of the Dark Knight, everybody complained, okay, it gets all these nominations, but not, okay, best writing. Heath Ledger got for supporting actor, best directing, but not for best picture. And then that's when the Oscars broke down and said, okay, no more 5 best pictures of the year. Let's make it 10. Okay? And because of that, they nominate everything under the sun, a lot of crap. And because people ask me, saying, do you think all these pictures should have been nominated? And I'll be honest with you, no. In the past 5 years, most pictures should not be nominated. They should have taken the 10 best pictures of the year. This past year, 2 of the biggest pictures that were pushing, Crazy Rich Asians, which is one of the worst pictures of the year. And the other one was First Man on the Moon, with your boy, the guy who directed Blade Runner, who's going to be directing Damier Mazwa, whatever his name is.
I heard he really didn't direct it. He just got a producer's credit.
No, he directed the picture, First Man. Okay.
Ridley Scott?
No, the French guy who did Blade Runner.
Oh, I thought Ridley Scott did
No,
Blade
the
Runner.
Blade Runner 2, the second.
Oh, Blade Runner 2. I thought you were talking about...
No,
Blade
not
Runner
the
1.
original, the second one, with your boy. And he's going to be directing,
Not my boy. Ridley Scott was my boy.
no, the second picture, you couldn't.
I said we need a second film, and I was hoping that Ridley Scott would direct it. Like
No, he
directed the
produced
first
it,
one.
and the French guy directed it. And he directed First Man, and he's going to be directing Dune. That's
The
going to be,
French guy?
yeah, the French guy. He's going to be
Not
boring.
really Scott?
Anyway, no.
No, too bad.
Anyway.
I know it's like who's on first.
Okay, so anyway, so the that director, he did The First Man, and everybody bring, oh, best picture of the year, boring picture, and I'm glad it didn't win and get nominated for anything. Unfortunately, it won for best special effects over Avengers, over Black Panther, a bunch of other pictures, and I couldn't believe that it actually won. So that was my big nix in the whole Oscar format. Okay, so anyway, enough about the Oscar pictures, and actually the ratings went up, and of course Bohemian Rhapsody, Rami Malek got it. Good luck with this from Korea. I don't know if he's going to take that.
Isn't that great too?
I said
Jesus,
before,
he
he
deserve it.
has so many acting coaches to help him with that role. So, and he won it. Okay, so again with the Gwyneth Paltrow. But anyway, so let's get to the big 800-pound gorilla in the room.
Which is?
This one. I think she's a great actress. I love her a lot. She got stuck with a lousy script, and these guys do not know how to direct a movie whatsoever. So I'm going to give this a 1 out of 5. Captain Marvel just plain sucked. I got no sympathy. When you have a cat stealing the picture, you got a problem with it. The beginning, I'm going to tell you the beginning. First 5 minutes is from the trailer. You see her kicking ass with Jude Law, boom, 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 fighting. All of a sudden, no, actually, the picture begins with her on the ground because she's a pilot. The jet is on the ground, smash, her co-pilot, and they're fighting, and all of a sudden she starts dreaming. I'm going, what the hell is this? And all of a sudden she's fighting with Jude Law. All of a sudden they're fighting the Krill or some aliens, something out of Star Trek Orville, whatever.
No, the Krill is from Fantastic Four. You know, it's Marvel.
Right. But they took that concept and they put it in this film, which is not based on the actual comic books. Am I correct? They're Fantastic Four villains. Am I correct?
Yes, they're Fantastic Four villains. And then eventually
you're better at this than me right now.
And then eventually they expanded. But this is why I used to look at comic books in the 80s, and I sort of stopped in the 80s and 90s.
Okay.
So it's been years, my friend, years.
I stopped in the 70s.
More than, I would say more than 30 years.
Okay.
That's a long time.
Okay. So, but those villains, you do remember they're from Fantastic Four?
Yes.
And they put them in here?
Right, because they were.
I mean, does it make sense though?
Four, yes.
As far as the storyline?
Yes, it does, because
okay.
They started in Fantastic Four and they expanded into the bigger Marvel universe. It became a major foe.
Okay. But did it add to the movie? I'm asking as because I really don't know anything about Captain Marvel. I know Fantastic Four when I read it when I was a kid. About
you want to do spoilers?
Given the spoilers because you're not missing anything, folks.
Yeah, it's sort of like
given the spoilers because
so Disney took, I would have to say, Disney took a page. So Frank said he gives us a 1. I would
1
say,
out of 5. I'm sorry,
say,
there's nothing to this picture.
I would say as Captain Marvel goes, I like the way the CGI, everything was good. There's tons of holes in the script, tons of holes, but out of all the other Marvel movies, it would be comparable to those Thor movies. Because those Thor movies aren't that good either. You know, it would be comparable.
The second one.
Yeah.
The second Thor movie.
Even the first one wasn't that good. I would compare it to those Thor movies, not the Hulk movie, not the Thor Hulk movie, because that was good because of Hulk. I would compare it to like Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, sort of like they had a mojo and it's going to take them time to figure out what they have to do. Because the whole, for spoilers, the whole thing is, the Krill is supposed to be the bad guy, but then they sort of like take the script, they flip it, they turn it on its head, sort of like they took a page from Rian Johnson. Because Rian Johnson said that one day I'm going to take something from some franchise, take it, flip it around, flip it on its head, anger the fans, make them so mad that they'll leave and bring in new fans. But it's not going to work.
It didn't work.
Because if you get
it didn't work with Star Wars.
Yeah, if you get rid of your core audience, that's gone. For example, if your father loves it, he brings you into it. If your mother loves it, she brings you into it. But if none of them like it, they won't bring you into it, and then you have to discover it, and you're like, I don't have a connection to it because I don't read comic books. So that's what it is. It's from a page of Rian Johnson. So it's like the bad guys now the good guys are now the bad guys. And
Well,
that's what they did.
let
And
me-
that's why they're holes, because it doesn't make any sense, because if she's so powerful and, like they say, omnipotent, like Superman, why did they wait till the last thing to call her in? Meanwhile, she could have, if she's so super powerful like Superman, they could have called her in before, and she would have been able to destroy Thanos like that. But
There'd be no-
that's
oh.
what I'm saying. That these are the holes. It's like Swiss cheese.
Well, I mean, let's go back to Batman versus Superman. It's only in title only. You
Yes.
see Batman working out. I'm going to destroy Superman. Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, Superman goes, bing, end of story.
Right.
But there'll be no 3-hour movie.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Okay, let's go back about taking the parents. And I said this, and I was wrong, 100% wrong. But we got renewed 31 years. Disney's got to figure out what happened to Mary Poppins franchise. Okay,
I know what happened.
Yeah,
I could tell you.
They
right.
Yeah, they didn't
I
show up.
told
The
you.
parents
No.
didn't show up.
You know
the
why?
grandparents didn't show
No.
up. They're all
The
home
kids,
watching
yeah.
Netflix.
Yeah, because they know who the real Mary Poppins is.
No, the kids don't even.
No,
they don't even give a crap about
no,
Mary
I'm saying
Poppins.
the parents. If the parents would have shown up, like for example, I grew up with Mary Poppins. My parents grew up with Mary Poppins.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't show up because Julia Andrews can't be replaced.
Anybody can be replaced. That's bullshit.
That's what you think, really?
Yeah,
Can
anybody-
anybody be
yeah.
replaced? Is that true? Like, okay, so if you are in that belief that anybody gets
Yeah.
replaced, what happens when Robert Downey Jr. finally when they throw him out? What's going to happen to that franchise? Who's the strongest pin of the Marvel Universe right in the movies? Who's the strongest?
I can answer that right now.
Okay, go
Who's the new kid on the block? Spider-Man.
Right.
Everybody loves Tom Holland.
Right. But what do they keep
Everybody
doing?
forgot about the other previous Spider-Man. He took over,
Right.
and
Of
the new
course,
generation
of course.
loves him, and that's it.
But what do they keep doing? What do they keep doing with Spider-Man? Do they keep doing Spider-Man by himself and fighting his villains? Or do they keep insinuating the bigger Marvel universe into his universe? Do they keep doing that? Did they do that with Iron Man? Did they do that with the second one with Nick Fury? Yes, they did. So they don't have trust in him on himself. They have to keep insinuating the larger universe. That's what they're doing.
Nope. Everything needs to be
Iron Man
replaced.
showed up in the first one.
Iron Man is going to be replaced. Robert Downey Jr. They're going to find a young guy who can do Robert Downey
'cause
Jr. and that's
they
it.
Had
They have
confidence. Yeah, of course they're going to do it. But I'm saying they're going to pull the trigger because then they're going to want to pay him anymore, like you said before.
to. He's getting too old. It doesn't
Of
even matter the
course,
payment.
of
So
course.
naturally they have to replace him.
100%. We're both understand that. We're both in agreement of understanding that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying that he's the linchpin. They never had any hope to believe that he can pull off the universe. If it wasn't for his first Iron Man movie, none of this would have existed.
Of course.
So that's what I'm saying. Robert Downey Jr. is the linchpin. Getting rid of him, it's sort of like getting rid of your heavyweight, your Marlon Brando for The Godfather. Would The Godfather have been the same? Who knows? Maybe. Without Marlon Brando, I'm just saying this guy's your Marlon Brando for this franchise.
Okay, Marlon Brando is Father Godfather. A lot of people did not know about the book, so that's why his character was very easily to be hired. Marlon Brando or a lot of other actors. Robert Redford, believe it or not, Al Pacino, a young Al Pacino was actually offered, but we're talking about an iconic superhero as Iron Man, and everybody knows that Tom Cruise was offered the part, and he was running for it. He was gunning for it,
I don't think
and
that
he was
would've been good.
auditioning for it,
It
big
would
time.
not have been good.
See,
Not.
but Chris Evans, who does Captain America, he said, "It's time for me to go." He's into producing and
Yeah.
directing. He
could
knows.
go,
He
could
knows.
go because he's not. I'm
He
sorry.
can-
He's not that. It's not. He doesn't bring the, like they say, the juice. I'm sorry. He's not bringing the juice.
I know. I think
If they
he's
replace him,
perfect, but
he could be replaced. He can definitely
anybody
replace.
can be replaced.
Except
Remember
for
that.
Robert Downey Jr. I'm
ca-
saying
he has
this
to
is
be
what I'm
repl-
saying.
he has to be.
He's going to be replaced. I agree with you. I understand this is what I'm saying, but he's not easily replaceable. People don't understand, and Disney doesn't understand this. They think they know this, but they can't. Sure, you can replace Thor. You can replace Captain America. You can even the Hulk because it's a CGI character. You can replace almost all these characters, but Robert Downey Jr. is going to be one of those tough characters to replace. Like, what do you call it? Scarlett Johansson? She could easily be replaced. She doesn't even do Black Widow anymore. During the movie, she stopped. She cut out the accent. She said, I'm not going to do these big flips like I did in the first movie. I'm not going to try to look sexy. And guess what? I'm not even going to paint my hair anymore. So guess what? She's not doing Black Widow. She's doing Scarlett Johansson. And I see the action figures they have for her. That's not Black Widow. That's Scarlett Johansson. It's a Scarlett Johansson action figure.
So how you explain her getting her own solo movie and they got green light? They're going to go for
They're going to green light it. Doesn't mean Disney knows what they're doing.
No,
Does that mean they know what they're doing?
Okay, talk about
Yes,
Disney.
sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir. Let's go for it.
no, you brought up a good example about Disney.
Okay.
It was one of the articles, Variety Magazine or Hollywood Reporter, and you know they're taking over Fox, right? A lot of the franchises. Guess 2 of the pictures that are PG-13. Actually, one of them is rated R. And I told you, remember Disney. Well, we talked about the Punisher, and we talked about
I remember that.
Punisher. What was the other? Luke Cage, which I was on. I
Right.
was one of the episodes.
I think
Jessica Jones.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
what's the other? There were 4.
Iron Fist, Daredevil,
Okay,
and remember Deadpool. They said they're going to keep that R.
okay.
They're going to keep that under the
For the
Fox
show
logo.
Right. Okay. 4 shows were on Netflix, and
Right.
we found out. Actually, I knew about it, but I was, since I'm acting in the business, I was told not to say anything on the show. Believe it or not, I couldn't even tell them. So
Right. And he didn't even tell me that thing where J-Lo was going to be in the South Street Seaport. You could have helped a brother out, you know. You could have told me, Johnny.
I couldn't.
You could have told me, Johnny. Okay,
Whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. That
Oh
is the
my
golden
goodness.
rule. There's
Just
a lot of
remember
things I do know. All I can say is, well, you think I survived for 31 years. Some things you just have to keep shut up. And also because a lot of times, even like you going back to set, you just said, even Disney sometimes don't even know. Good example, Planet of the Apes, The Fly. They're both Fox property. Disney, those are the 2 properties they're going to go after. Now, we all know the original was Vincent Price, was a rated G film back in 1950, whatever.
Yeah.
And Vincent Price played the uncle, and he tries to say help the wife, look for a husband, and to find out the husband got caught in the transport, and the husband got a fly head, and Vincent Price trying to find the original fly. The fly has a head. Okay, the picture was rated G back in the 50s. They did a sequel, and Son of the Fly. Okay, and that was filmed in black and white. I have no idea, but I'm saying this because they're asking me. I don't know. The first picture was in color. The second picture was black and white. That's the way it was done. I still don't have an answer for that. Okay. So there goes that. Anyway, a little trivia. But anyway, the one with Jeff Goldblum was rated R. Produced by Mel Brooks, who's a comedian. Go figure that one out.
The dark side.
Okay, go figure that one out.
Most comedians are good when they do dark because they're good. Because a lot of comedians have a very vicious dark side, man. Very vicious. That's why a lot of them could play serial killers. Remember, like Robin Williams? Once he went to serial killer, it was sort of hard to see him in a different light. It was sort of hard to see him as a comedian again. But all these comedians are good to play serial killers because they have a vicious, mean side. Look at Richard Pryor, Chevy Chase. They all have dark sides.
Okay, you took it to another level. But anyway, as far as I'm concerned, Robin Williams doing Miss Doubtfire, and of course Tootsie, which was done by, I'm mentioning this because Dustin Hoffman played Tootsie, a guy dressed as a woman, and that's going to be on Broadway. Go figure that one out. Anyway, Tootsie the musical on Broadway. Go figure. Anyway, so Disney is picking two projects out of Fox. One is they're going to redo Planet of the Apes, and they're going to redo The Fly.
No.
Now, are they going to do it PG-13 or rated R? And I did say it. They had, the Fox did have a couple labels, and so did Disney. A lot of people did not know that a lot of the shows, Jennifer Jones, Luke, whatever.
Cage.
Right, okay. Those shows, everybody thought it was Netflix. Disney was producing them, okay?
Yeah.
But it was under the Netflix flag, okay? Right. Now, they're going to re-release all this stuff, and I said this before, you're going to see it in the bottom little corner, the new Luke Cage rated R.
Right.
A little logo in the bottom corner. Disney projects.
Right.
Excuse me. Thank you.
Get some water. Get some water.
Okay, it's a Disney company in the logo. That's how they're going to produce this stuff. So Disney is going to try to produce a rated R version of The Fly again. Well, how how can Disney do this?
They have a better chance with
a different label.
Okay, drink some water. I'll fill in.
Fill in.
All right. So what I'm saying is, I know Universal. They did Universal Monsters and it failed, but they have a better chance. For example, I'm saying Universal has a better chance going after Universal Monsters than Disney has a chance re-upping that, because all you could do is a remake of The Fly. All you could do is a remake of Planet of the Apes. But why? You've told the whole story. Jeff Goldblum's Fly, I think, was at its apex. I don't think you should touch it again. I don't think you can get better.
He nailed it.
Yeah,
yes.
he nailed it. They did a Son of the Fly, #2, and it was no good. It washed up.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Universal has a better chance because the thing is, Universal took the wrong lead. Right. Tom Cruise was good, but they gave Tom Cruise the power of invincibility just because he was the one who opened the mummy's tomb, and that made no sense. What would have made sense if they would have made him, given the power of the werewolf. If they would have given him the power of the werewolf and made him indestructible, then that would have made sense. Then people would have gone along for the ride, because Tom Cruise is doing things to save the world as the original werewolf did in Frankenstein, in Abbott and Costello Meet the Werewolf, Dracula, and Frankenstein, where the werewolf was the good guy.
Right.
And you see, if Tom Cruise would have taken that lead, it would have been great. It would have been like, I'm trying to do the best I can without turning into the werewolf, but when the pale moon comes out, I'm going to turn into the werewolf. I mean, the full moon comes out, I'll be turning into the monster, and then I won't be able to help. You know, and that would have been it would have been great for his Achilles heel. People would have loved to see that. That's what I'm saying. Universal has a better chance with that than going with The Fly.
Okay. Well, let's backtrack a little bit.
We have 2 minutes.
Okay, let's backtrack. The Mummy with Tom Cruise is not a bad movie, but I thought he was miscast. He should have played the Wolfman, like you said.
Yes.
Okay, that would have worked.
That would have worked.
Russell Crowe as Heckle and Jekyll, whatever. I think that worked.
Yeah, it worked.
But
the thing is, it didn't make sense that Tom Cruise was invulnerable just because he opened the coffin of the mummy. It made no sense. If they would have made him the werewolf, if he would have been cursed by a gypsy, like the original werewolf was.
Okay, let's backtrack. Let's backtrack.
1 minute. You got a minute.
Captain Marvel. The problem was she feels no pain, no you don't
She's
feel
Superman.
sympathy. Yeah, exactly. And nothing can stop her.
No.
And stuff like that. And I think she's a great actress. She was giving a lousy script, and these guys do not know how to direct a friggin' film. I'm in the business. I'm out of a job. Fine, I don't care.
Holes.
Yeah, I mean, the picture was just plain horrible. 1 out of 5.
Holes. Well, I thought it was...
The cat stole the movie. That's all you need to know.
I thought it was good enough to see it on
It's
DVD.
one of the worst Marvel movies.
If ever it comes to Netflix, watch it there. Don't waste seeing the theater. Okay, we have 20 seconds.
The reason the movie's going to be a big hit this weekend is because she's the tying end of Thanos' storyline for the Avengers #4, Endgame, whatever.
10 seconds now.
That's it. Anyway, folks, last announcement. We see you in April. We're taking a break. This show is going to be repeated. We see you in April for the Avengers Endgame. We see you then. Thank you, everybody. Don't forget YouTube. Thank you. Adios.
That's it.
That's it.
Now we got to close up.
Yep.
Look at me, I'm disappearing.
A satisfied customer. We got through all the topics I wanted to get through.